understand how difficult it is to find hope right now. And I know that I'm the type of person who tries to motivate you all the time. And some people might think that I'm toxically positive, but I do truly believe that you're the creator of your reality and your perspective makes a big difference. But how do you build a better perspective when you feel a little bit hopeless about what is happening in the world right now, whether it be in your personal life or with everything that is happening? Let's talk about hope, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I want to discuss the importance of holding on to hope, the power of hope. Because hope is genuinely a powerful tool, even if it seems naive. Hope is what allows us to not predict the future, because we can't predict what is actually going to happen, but to leave the door open for change to occur, for good things to come. Because the world is built in cycles. What comes up must come down, but what comes down will always come back up. So through this video, I really hope that I can encourage you to not give up on the power of hope, and I will scientifically prove to you why hope is so important. And don't worry, even though I'm going to make this as scientific as possible, I am the type of person who is going to motivate you, so please stay tuned. First and foremost, hope is not passive optimism. Hope is what, again, leaves the door open for your nervous system to allow for the possibility of good things to happen, to allow your nervous system to regulate itself when all we hear is negativity from the news, from the people around us. Our nervous system is in constant fight or flight. Our nervous system cannot handle being so dysregulated on a day-to-day basis. And if we allow hope into the nervous system, we allow a sense of peace, even for a single moment. When your brain perceives the possibility of something good happening, it stays engaged instead of shutting down. It gives you more clarity to make a difference in your own life. And therefore, hope alters the way that you view your reality. It changes your perspective of the world because your brain looks for options instead of threats. It looks for opportunities, which I always talk about with the Seven of Cups. It looks for the opportunities that are already right around you instead of only focusing on how to defend yourself, fight or flight. And therefore, your stress response decreases. And as I mentioned, that is so important for your nervous system because you can't constantly be in fight or flight. You don't have any energy to make a difference in your life. To focus on dancing and finding a sense of pleasure, you need to learn to calm yourself, which we are not taught how to do. And when you have more options, and when you have more clarity, and when you have less stress, your problem solving increases, which means that you can make changes in your life, in the lives of everybody else around you. Hope gives you problem solving skills. And finally, how hope alters your behavior is that it gives you effort that feels more worthwhile. The things that you are working towards have a possibility of actually making a difference for you. So instead of disengaging your nervous system and dysregulating your thoughts and your emotions and causing you to always be in fight or flight and the need to defend yourself, the future feels more open. The effort that you put in feels a lot more logical and a lot more meaningful. Hope tells your brain that there is a reason for you to stay engaged, a reason for you to have purpose right here, right now, and a reason for you to actually take action, to live your life fully, to be more creative, to speak up, and to, again, potentially even make a change with everything that is happening right now. So neurologically, our brains love patterns, and if you can't hold on to any sense of positivity right here, right now, your brain is never going to know what that is because you don't have the proper neural pathways that connect your experiences, your perspective, to the positive chemicals that get released into your brain, meaning dopamine and serotonin. So when you are hopeless, your motivation drops because you live your life in fight or flight. You have stress hormones that are overtaking your body that cause you to freeze up, that cause you to live in denial and avoidance, and that cause you to procrastinate living and making a change for that matter. But if your future feels a little bit more positive, your nervous system is going to start releasing dopamine, which is the fuel to action, which is the fuel to bring creativity back into your life, which is the fuel for you to want to meet new people, to communicate with people, to build communities, and to stand together. But you need to learn to release dopamine in anticipation, not as a reward. And that is the big thing here, that confidence is not built before you start something. Confidence is built when you do it. If you allow yourself to be hopeful, you will start gaining more confidence to allow positivity into your life, to allow more dopamine to be released into your system, to allow more changes to happen to you in the best way possible. And to top it all off, Dopamine fuels movement. It fuels curiosity, it fuels creativity, and it fuels the need to learn. It fuels your freedom. It fuels your ability to be empathetic, to want to connect to other people, to live in less hatred, and to live in more acceptance of love. And I understand how easy it is to feel hopeless because repeated disappointment trains the brain to expect failure, to expect the world to not change, to expect the world to continue getting worse and worse, whether it be, again, your own little bubble of a world or the grand scheme of things. The nervous system is always going to choose emotional safety over risk. And avoiding hope to avoid pain, which, disclaimer, being miserable doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you any less naive. It just makes you more miserable to be around, especially for yourself. And therefore, hopelessness becomes a form of protection for yourself, a form of not using up your energy for something that you think that you don't need. Being hopeless is a defense for the nervous system. We have trained ourselves to be hopeless. We have been taught to be hopeless. And that is why being hopeful is a power. As I said in the beginning of this video, we cannot predict the future. We don't know if things are going to be good, but at the same time, we don't know if things are going to go as bad as we expect them to. As well as our nervous system tries to protect us, we don't know if things are actually going to go to. And that is where hope becomes a skill. It becomes a skill for you to be motivated, for you to give power back to yourself, and for you to be less miserable in a world that tries to profit off of it. Hope doesn't require any belief systems by any means. It just requires the possibility of things going differently, of change being possible. So you don't need certainty that things are going to go well. You don't need certainty that there is going to be a tomorrow, that there's going to be a beautiful future without all the hatred, without all of the pain. But the human experience does require all of it for us to actually understand how to create our own happiness, how to create our own hope. But you don't need that certainty. You just need the belief and the little teeny tiny evidence that is going to push you forward in understanding that it is possible. So instead of asking yourself, will this work? Will we have change? Will we live in a better reality? Ask yourself, how is this going to be possible? What you pay attention to and what you constantly repeat and this change in perspective that you create for yourself is what is going to create the momentum for you to, one, be more hopeful, and two, create the domino effect to create more hope and community for the rest of the world. By the way, if you want more information about how your attention and the way that you repeat things changes the way that your brain literally is structured, please check out this video right here. And all of this to say that hope isn't about pretending that everything is fine, because I know it's not. I'm not going to be toxically positive about it and say that it is, but it is to say that your nervous system needs to be open to the possibility of change. That what you hyperfixate on is what your brain is going to show you more of because of this need for repetition, for pattern seeking, and for things to be predictable. So the more that you are open to change, the more that you are open to new possibilities, whether they be positive or just merely change because we need it, the more that your brain is going to notice that there are opportunities to make that change, to have more motivation, to have more creativity, to have more joy and love and acceptance and safety. I understand how difficult it is to hold on to hope right now. But hope is your power, and that is a power that you have to build up on your own through the power of changing your neuroplasticity, with the power of sharing that with the rest of the world, and with the power of sticking to your own voice, sticking to what you know to be true, loving yourself a little bit more, giving yourself a little bit more freedom, and understanding that everybody else deserves the same level of freedom with no harm to themselves or others. So please don't lose hope. Everything is cyclical, and what comes down will always come back up.